Okay, this is movie number 2 for dimensional analysis. And this movie will introduce nothing new relative to movie 1, but it will have some practice. It will have practice on changing dimensions, for instance, exagrams to teragrams, etc. And some cubes, for instance, cubic millimeters to cubic centimeters, where you have to find the absolute difference and then cube it. And what I'll also do here is, in case this is the first one you've watched, introduce the exponent rules. When you multiply like bases, you add the exponents, and when you divide like bases, you subtract the exponents. Remember, the bases have to be the same, but we always use the same. We always use base 10, so that's not an issue. When I raise a base to an exponent, I multiply the exponents. Remember that anything raised to the 0 is 1. So 1 billion raised to the 0 is still 1. Don't forget, when you take the reciprocal of a base, you take the additive inverse of the exponent. So 1 over a to the n is a to the negative n, and 1 over a to the negative n is a to the n. When you take the reciprocal of a base, you take the additive inverse of the exponent. And when I raise an entire ratio to an exponent, I multiply the exponents of both the numerator and the denominator by that value. So it would be mq a to the mq over a to the nq. So remember that you have to distribute that q. Now here are the problems. We'll do 12 problems here. I think we have 36 problems like that. And I'll spend some time on the first bunch. So here I have 8.76 milligrams to grams. So the absolute difference is 3. So I would give the grams 1, and then it would be 10 to the third milligrams in a gram. You want to divide by milligrams and multiply by grams. So that's going to be your value. So it would be 1 gram over 10 to the third milligrams, and the answer is 8.76 times 10 to the negative 3 grams. That would be your answer. So let's proceed. We'll run this a little bit more quickly, but that's how you do each problem on the first several sets. I think there's 36 altogether that are like this. So I reduced this to 7 seconds. So the next one will be grams to kilograms. So that'll be, you're dividing by 10 to the third grams and multiplying by 1 kilogram. And then the next one is femto, that would be 15 to meters. So it'll be 10 to the 15th femtograms that you're dividing by, multiplying by meters. And then you're going from kilograms to meters, etc. So I'll let this run. These are fairly simple ones, and you should be able to get these fairly quickly. So this will be atto to seconds, where you don't have a prefix, so the absolute difference will be 18. So it'll be 18 attoseconds in 1 second. You're taking the additive inverse of the exponent because you're taking the reciprocal. So the answer would be negative 18. So it'll be 1.22 times 10 to the negative 18 seconds. The AS cancels, and you're left with just seconds. Now, these are a little bit one step up, where you have, for instance, milligrams to attograms. So that'll be 3 and 18. So that'll be 15. So the first one will be 8.76 times 10 to the negative 1. So you're changing it from milligrams to attograms. So you know that the absolute difference between milli and atto is going to be -3 and -18. So it'll be 15. So it'll be 15, 10 to the 15th milligrams. So it'll be 10 to the 15th attograms in 1 milligram. Milligrams is larger, and so that gets the 1, and then 10 to the 15th attograms in 1 milligram. So kilo to deca would be 10 to the 2 would be the absolute difference. Deca is 1 and kilo is 3. Don't forget you have 10 to the 0. You can still add and subtract from that. So you're going to divide by the kilogram there, multiplied by the deca, and so you're going to get 10 to the 2 decagram. So I'll let this run and see how you do. Okay, so see how you do. Just checking in. I'll have another quick worksheet where we'll have some more just like that. So here's 25 to 36. So it'll be the same thing, and I'll let this run, and then I'll come back and check up and see how you're doing. All right, just see how you're doing, and so same problems. Again, let me know if there's a mistake that I made somewhere, and we'll see. How, just leave a comment if I make a mistake. So now what I want to do is I want to get a little bit more complicated and do some more practice and make double changes here. Now, what happens if you're given a density where you have to change the numerator and the denominator? So on the first one, you have to change kilograms to micrograms. So that'll be 10 to the third and 10 to the sixth. That'll be an absolute difference of 9, and then cubic meters to atto would be 18, and then you got a cube 18. Cube 18, 18 cubed would be 18 times 3 would be 54. So let's look at the first one, and then I'll check. Then I'll let you do them by yourself and check back later. So the first one would be you want to divide by kilograms and go to micrograms. So it'll be 10 to the third and 10 to the negative 6 will be 10 to the ninth. So there's 10 to the ninth micrograms in 1 kilogram. And 10 to the 54th cubic attometers in 1 cubic meter. And so you can see there's 10 to the ninth and 10 to the negative 54. You're bringing that up to the numerator. So when you take the reciprocal of a base, you take the additive inverse of the exponent. So I'm taking the reciprocal of 1 over 10, and then it's 1 over 10 to the 54th becomes 10 to the negative 54th. And then you multiply it out and you get 7.9 times 10 to the negative 45. The next one, same thing, where you're going from femtograms to exagrams. So that'll be 18 and 15, that'd be 33. So there'll be, you're dividing by femto and going to exo. So you have 1 exagram and 10 to the 33 femtograms. And then you have petameters cubic to nano. So there's going to be 15, 10 to the 15th p, and 10 to the negative 9th n. So that'll be 15 and 9 would be 24. 24 cubed would be 10 to the 72. So when you take the reciprocal of the base, you're taking the additive inverse of the exponents, and then you're going to add it all up, and you're going to get 95. So it'll be 5 times 10 to the negative 95. So I'll let this run, see how you do, and I'll check back with you. So that's it, and I have just a couple left. And if I make a mistake, please let me know, and hope it helped. I'll show another movie, and make sure you watch them 1, 2, and 3 in that order. It would be probably best that way. And I'm going to work on movie 3. Have a great day.